Okay, so we are at the Rashi in chapter 19, verse 17. You go before the judges that will be in those days. Rashi says, Yiftach b'doro k'shmo b'doro. Yiftach in his generation is like Samuel in his generation. Tzarach ato and hogbo kavod. You need to give him respect and honor. So Yiftach was the most ignorant of all the judges, according to the Midrash, and Shmuel was the greatest. But in each generation, the judge must be given a power, authority, and respect. V'darshu Shoftim heitev, and the judges will expound it carefully. V'hinei sheker ha'ed, and behold, the witness has testified falsely. Sheker anav achiv, he answered falsely on his brother. Rashi says, V'darshu Shoftim heitev, al pi ha'mezimin otam. They cross-examine those who are coming to impugn the first witnesses. They do very close examination. There are 7 basic questions and then more involved questions. And behold, the witness is a false witness. Rashi says, whenever it says in Torah aid, witness, it says, it refers to 2. It refers to 2 witnesses. The sitam lo kasher zamama asosach, you shall do to him like you plotted to do to his brother. You shall do to him like you plotted to do to his brother, and you shall wipe out the wickedness from your midst. Rashi says, kasher zamam, like he plotted to do, velo kasher asah, but not like he actually did. From here they taught, the rabbi said, Hargu inaragin, that if the false witnesses actually succeeded in putting this man to death, then they're not going to be executed after the fact. It's only if the witnesses that impugned them came before the sentence was carried out. But once the sentence is carried out, then they are not punished for this action. That's Xeris Akasim. It's based upon the verse. Kasher Zamam. Like they conspired, but not like they actually did. Rashi says, Vasitamu Kasher Zamam Wasot Sa'achiv, like he plotted to do to his brother, Uviyarta Rami Kirbecha, and you will get Wasot Achiv, Mata Omer Achiv. What did it say to his brother? We made Azomame Bas Kohen Nesua She'ena Bisreifa. So it teaches us, let's say the witnesses come forward and they testify that a daughter of a Kohen had adultery, that in the false witness, she had adultery with another man. So the punishment for the daughter of the Kohen is burning. The punishment for the adulterous man is strangulation. So how do we know what to do to the false witnesses? Do we do what he tried to do to the daughter of the Kohen, or do we do what he tried to do to the man who had adultery with her? So the answer is we do to them like he tried to do to his brother. Meaning he tried to have his brother convicted of the crime, which brings strangulation, and that's what we do to him. As it says, but he ba'esh tisaref. Ba'esh tisaref, as it says in the pasuk, he ba'esh tisaref, that she is put to death with fire. He below bo'ala, she is put to death with fire, but not the man who committed adultery. Therefore, it says here le'achiv, to his brother. Kasher zamam la'asos achiv, like he plotted to do to his brother, but not like he plotted to do to his sister. But by all other deaths, the Torah equates the man to a woman. And those who conspire against a woman are going to be punished the same way as those who conspire against a man. It's just in this specific case by the daughter of a Kohen that there's a distinction with her punishment. So that's why there's a separate law. So, for example, if they testify that this woman killed somebody or that she desecrated the Shabbos, that in all these cases they're going to be put to death, they're executed with death, because the Torah is excluding the sister here, your sister, only in a case where you're not sure which of the two punishments to apply. That's what Rashi says. V'anisharim, and those who remain, yishma'u v'yera, will hear and they will see. First they'll listen and then they will fear. Yishma'u v'yera, v'lo yosifu asot od k'davar hara zeh b'kirbecha, and they won't do anything more k'davar hara, like this bad thing in your midst. Rashi says, Yishmu v'yero, they'll hear and they'll be afraid. Mikan shetzrichen achraza. From here we see that there needs to be an announcement. There needs to be a public announcement saying Ish ploni neragin al shahuzmu bebesin. Such and such a man is being killed because he was found to be a false conspiring witness in the court. As it states, do not have compassion upon him, nefesh b'nefesh, soul for a soul, eye be eye, and eye for an eye, shame b'shame, tooth for a tooth, yad b'yad, regel b'regel, hand for a hand, foot for a foot. Rashi says, what does this mean, an eye for an eye? Mamor, shame b'shame. In all these cases, it's a monetary penalty. Meaning to say, let's say the witnesses say that this person has knocked out somebody else's eye and he's being false. You might think that we knock out the witness's eye, the false witness's eye, and we say, no, we don't do that punishment. We just make him pay the value of the eye. Okay. So now, chapter 20, verse 1, when you go out to battle on your enemies, and you see a horse and a chariot, you see a horse and a chariot, and the people are more numerous than you, do not be afraid of them, because Hashem is with you. Hashem who brings you up from the land of Egypt. Hashem who brings you up from the land of Egypt is with you. Rashi says, Rashi says, Torah places the law of an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth next to the laws about somebody who goes out to battle. Tell you if that you're missing a limb, you don't go out to battle. Alternatively, what's the best way to assure success in battle is if you judge with righteousness. Then if you go out to battle, you'll be victorious. David says, Asiti mishpat v'tzedek. I've practiced justice and righteousness. Do not leave me to my oppressors. They should be your enemies in your eyes. Do not have mercy upon them, because they won't have mercy on you. Rashi says, in my eyes, all of these are considered like one horse. If you have 1,000,000 horses, consider in front of God like one horse. As it states, Vikita at Midian Ishachad. You struck down Midian like one man. And so it states, Kivasus Paro, and Pharaoh's horse came. Rashi says, Am Rav Nimcha, Beinecho Rav, Aval Be'enai Inu Rav. In your eyes, he's numerous, but in my eyes, it's not numerous, the people. The next verse states, when you come close to battle, the Kohen will come close, and he'll speak to the people. We just had this at the end of Sota. Then when you come to battle, the before you go out from the boundaries. The Kohen should come close. Kohen was anointed for battle. This is called the Kohen who is anointed for battle. He shall speak to the people, he speaks to them in Hebrew. And what does he say? And what does he say to them? Shema Yisrael. Ben Yamus. Shema Yisrael, Atem Kurim Mayom Melchama Avechem. He says, listen, Israel, you're going out to battle today with war on your enemies. Do not let your hearts be soft. Do not be afraid. Do not panic. Do not break down before them. Rashi says, Dr. Rashi, when you come close to Shema Yisrael, listen, Israel, even if the people going out to war only have the merit of Shema, you are worthy that he should save you. On your enemies. These are not your brothers. That if you fall into their hands, they're not going to have mercy upon you. This is not like the war of Judah with Israel. That as it says that when the tribes of Ephraim, the territory of Ephraim, fought a war with Judah, it said that they had mercy. The people, that when the people from Ephraim took the Jews of Judah captive, they got up and they took hold of the captives, they clothed them, they dressed them, they put shoes on them, they fed them, they gave them to drink, anointed them, and they led them on donkeys, all those who couldn't walk anymore. And they brought them to Jericho, to their brothers, Vayashuvu Shomron. And then the people from Ephraim went back home. So you see there, if you fall into captive against your brothers, they'll have mercy upon you. But you're not going to battle against them. You're going to battle against your enemies. Therefore, you have to be strong in battle, because if you get captured, you're not going to have it easy. Do not let your heart be soft. Do not be afraid. Do not panic. Do not break down. Rashi says, there are 4 warnings corresponding to 4 things. There are 4 things that the kings of the nations of the world do. They bang their shields to make them collide. To make a sound, so that those who are against opposite them will panic. And they make their horses stamp the ground, and they make them neigh. To to make the sound of the beating of their horses overhead. And they shout with their voices, v'tokim b'shofros, and they blast the shofar. Uminei mashmiei kol, they make other sounds. Do not be, let your heart be faint, mitzaharatzu sin, from the neighing of the horses. Don't be afraid from the colliding of the shields. Don't be panicking from the sound of the horns. Don't be afraid from the sound of the shouts. Okay, so it says that the Kohen is supposed to say to them, Ki Hashem, Hashem, your God who walks with you, he will make war for you with your enemies to save you. She says, the nations of the world come with their might of flesh and blood. You come with the might of God. The Plishtim came with the might of Goliath. Maya Sofa, what happened to Goliath in the end? He fell, and the Philistines fell with him. Hashem, your God goes with you. This is the camp of the ark. Okay. And the officer should speak to the people saying, who is the one who built a new house? And he has not yet dedicated it. Let him go home and live there. Lest he die in battle, and another man will consecrate it. Even if he goes home and doesn't serve, he still has to serve on the home front. Even if he doesn't serve in battle, it doesn't mean he goes home and studies Torah all day. He still has to serve on the home front. Very, very important law. Rashi says, the word chinuch means started. And that would be a terrible thing. Or who's the man who's planted a vineyard and is not consecrated? So let him go home. Lest he die in battle. And another man will consecrate his vineyard, redeem his vineyard. Rashi says, we did not redeem it. It's the first 3 years you plant the vineyard, you can't touch the fruit. In the 4th year, there the fruits need to be eaten in Jerusalem, or you can redeem them with money. You could eat you can consume the value in Jerusalem. The Kohen is continuing to speak and to warn the people before going into battle, and he says, who is the man who has betrothed a woman? He has not married her. Let him go home. He's betrothed her, but has not yet fully married her. Let him go home. Lest he die in battle, and another man take his wife. And then the officers continue to speak to the people. And any man who is afraid and has a soft heart, let him go back home. Let him not weaken the hearts of his brothers like his heart. Rashi says, V'yasvu Ashotrim. Raman Amerikan V'yasvu. Why does it say here that the officers add? Mosifin Zal Divrei Kohen. You have to add on to the words of the Kohen. Shakohen Medaber Umashmiya. The Kohen speaks and announces, Min Shema Yisrael Ad Hoshea Esem. He starts, this is a dispute in the Talmud. What does he have to say? There's a three-way dispute there in the Gemara in Sota 42a. It's a three-way dispute, or 44a. That where does he speak from? Some say he speaks from Shema Yisrael until Hoshea Esem. Hey, hey, how are we doing? So who held whose hand on the Ferris wheel?
That was pretty scary.
All righty, Shikoyach. We have the boys came in. They went to go on a tiyul today. Okay, so it says, who is the one whose heart is afraid? Hey, hey, hey. Let his heart not weaken. Rashi tells us, what does it mean to be afraid and faint-hearted? Rabbi Akiva Omer, Kamash Ma'o. Rabbi Akiva says this is literal. She'enu yachol amod, he's not able to stand. V'kishrei melchama, in the knots of the war. You can't see here, join. You can get a chumash. We're finishing from the parsha. He's not able to stand in the knots of war and to see the sword drawn. Rabbi Yossi Agliwa says, he's afraid because of the sins. That's why the Torah warns him. So meaning to say, Rashi says, that really why is he afraid? This is the to the left, and one down. Right there. Yeah, the Rashi says that what's he really afraid of? Quoting Rabbi Yossi Aglui, he has sins. He knows he has sins, so he doesn't have the merits to protect him. But the Torah wants to protect him from being embarrassed. Therefore, Tiltalo Torah, Lachsor, Albayis, Vikerem, Isha. That's why the Torah tries to cover up for him. So they say, oh, you can go back if you have a house or a new vineyard or a wife. This is just a way to cover up for those who are sinning because of the sins that they have in their hands. Because people won't be able to tell, oh, this guy was a sinner, that's why he's going back. And one who sees him returning will say, well, Shema Banabayas, or not Takerem, or Erazisha. Maybe he built a house, or he planted a vineyard, or he betrothed the wife. But really, the essential reason why the Kohen HaMashiach Milchama is up there is just to tell people to go back in case they committed a sin. That's the position of Rabbi Yossi Aglili. Rabbi Akiva argues. Rabbi Akiva says, no, it means he's literally afraid. Penya Moose, but Milchama is afraid he's going to die in battle. So it says, to die in battle, Yashuv Penya Moose, Shemo Yishmo Divrei Kohen, Kedayu Shemitz. Because it's to the Kohen, it's appropriate for him to die. Okay. Now we do this pasuk. When the officers concluded to speak to the people, and then they shall appoint leaders at the heads of the people. Rashi says, they appoint leaders. They commission people to stand upright with them, in front of them, and behind them. And they have the iron sticks in their hands. Or whoever wants to retreat. The authorities in his hand. To chop off his legs. The Zekifim are the people who stand. The edge of the battle. To raise upright those who fall down. To strengthen them. Shuvu al Muhammad, go back to battle. The beginning of a downfall is fight. That's based upon the Gemara. Sota 44a. All right, we'll stop here as we come to the last Aliyah. Big shkoyach to everyone.
Yes,
Shkoyach.